Well, a lot of progress since the last video. We've started the window install, we've started the interior plumbing, we have also framed the elevated concrete deck. So let me bring you inside and show you what's going on. But I can cut this out. I can take this away. I'm trying to keep all of the plumbing non-visible. So when this is tiled and finished, all the plumbing will be behind it. But I've created a little bit of a challenge. The plumber's telling me we got more pipes than can fit into the single pipe. So we're trying to do a work through right now. We're standing under where the elevated concrete deck will be. Most decks are usually built out of wood. This one is built out of steel reinforced concrete, and it'll be poured monolithic. This angled beam will have rebar in it and will attach to the patio and will hold it up. So it'll appear to be floating, but really it'll be the rebar and this one beam that's holding it up. Now we're standing on top of that form that we looked at from below, and the reason that this is done in a white melamine board is because when we pour the concrete, I don't want to have an imprint of the form below. So if I use like a rough plywood, you'd see the grain of a rough plywood. But if you look over here, it gets a little bit trickier. This section where you see the plywood is actually a roof over the last 4 feet of the garage. So what we have to do is we have to put a membrane roof on top of this that'll drain through the wall, and then we'll cover the whole thing with concrete. So first I have a membrane roof, and then I'll have all the rebar, epoxy coated rebar in here, and then we'll pour the floor. When the floor is poured, you won't see any of this going on below, but there is quite a bit going between the rebar, the header beam for the garage door, and the membrane roof. There's quite a bit going on here. We also will have some conduits for LED lights that will be pointing down, lighting up the area below this. We're working on installing the windows today. The windows are large on this job. The window we're looking at is roughly 10 feet by 10 feet and weighs about 1,500 pounds. So it takes quite a few guys to move it.
Bliżej, bliżej, bo stronę bliżej. Bliżej tak, żeby lepiej było podнимать. Еще? Шагом Окей, давай. Поднимаем, ставим на светло. Выше, выше.
Okay, we are laying out for the rooftop deck here. The rooftop deck is going to be these plastic self-leveling pedestals with tiles on top. The tiles are 2 by 2 and they will appear to be completely level, but underneath is this membrane roof. It's called an EPDM roof, and it's pitched to these drains. They're measuring right now. The pedestals come in different heights. Some go from 1.5 inches to 2 inches, some go from 2.5 to 3. So we've got to take a string line and find out exactly the tolerance that we need, so we order the proper pedestals in the location. We're also then marking them in a Sharpie so we know which pedestal to put in which location, and that way you'll get a perfectly level finished deck when it's finished, and you'll never know what's underneath it.